We all know birthdays are a time of celebration, aren't they? It's all about the cake, the candles, and allegedly a lot of fun. Now, I don't know about you, I'll let you into a bit of a secret. I'm not a huge birthdays fan. I know it's shocked, I know, cake and everything. No, I just like to spend it with close family, and I'm not big on parties and that, because I always feel it's kind of a forced atmosphere, isn't it? And also, I feel sorry for people who can't necessarily, if you go particularly in my circles, the celebrity things and stuff like that, everybody's trying to outdo themselves with the biggest and best present. And sometimes it's just the odd thing that makes you smile, isn't it? Like a funny cartoon or something like that. That's all that matters. But everybody wants to make a big event of it. Of course, if you are His Majesty the King of England, you have to think differently. The world is looking at you, particularly when you're estranged from your youngest son. And of course, now we're looking at mega reports that basically said his youngest son, the former royal known as Prince Harry, had this lengthy phone call and, of course, included none other than the former cable TV actress Meghan Markle. How true is that story? As ever, let me explain. Hi, good morning. How are you? Nice to see you today. And as ever, thank you so much for joining me. It's always lovely to have your company. And of course, whatever you're doing, do take care. As if you're over here in the United Kingdom, we're headed into winter, getting a lot colder now. Get that hot water bottle. I know that to me is my best heating tip. Don't bother about the heating, putting it up. A blanket and a hot water bottle around you. Lovely treat, isn't it? I know, cost effective too. You see what I'm saying? Money saving tips now on this channel. Can't escape. Back as ever to your royal story. Simple as this. Now, as you know, His Majesty the King does not carry a mobile phone. His security people do, and Major Johnny has the King's mobile phone. And of course, if you wish to speak to His Majesty the King, particularly on a very busy day where he was launching many different charitable foundations, everything has to be slotted in. Now, what was interesting here is there was a big spin at the weekend of how, Prince Harry was finally going to relinquish and speak to his father on what he's lucky to have him around on his 75th birthday. No two ways about it. But you would have thought that would have been enough for the former prince. Seemingly not. Now what we have is this, that, not only did His Majesty the King take a phone call from Prince Harry, but spoke also with Meghan Markle. How true is it? I'm calling it out as absolute nonsense. What truly happened, according to a very well-placed source, is that yes, there was an allotted time for Prince Harry to speak to His Majesty the King, simply because of the busy schedule, literally during the day, as one can imagine, and timescale differences. What happened was there was a brief conversation of good wishes and happy birthday, but actually the time did not coincide with the agreed time. Not quite sure who got flummoxed and didn't get it the right way round, but either way, there was a very short contact. Gracious, of course, of His Majesty the King to accept the call, and one has to say, finally, Prince Harry seemed some sense. But more importantly was the sort of frivolities over Meghan and, celebrating and all that sort of stuff. Absolutely not. The other side of the coin too is that if this was an official phone call, the palace press office would indeed have released some information, somewhere on the lines of like His Majesty was delighted to speak to his youngest son and accept well wishes on his 75th birthday. They remain quiet, basically saying they're focusing on the charitable work that His Majesty was doing on the day. That's everything you need to know. The thing that, of course, His Majesty would have liked would have been his youngest son at his side on such a pivotal moment, a birthday, a 75th birthday. Quite, really keen to push everything aside and try and make some headway. Harry could not be found to come over and do this, could go bother to Germany with Invictus, and could go, of course, to Katy Perry concerts. Can't be bothered to make the extra special effort to see his father. Some might say this is visa related because of what's coming up in January, where he will be needed back in the High Court, pressing ahead, suing, of course, all those media barons. Either way, it's very easy for Harry and Meghan to spin this story. Puts them in a better light, looks like they're doing the gracious thing, but it simply didn't happen in the formation that they're telling the media. But as we all know, the royals never complain and never explain. And this is something, allegedly, that Harry and Meghan know all too well, working it very much to their advantage. Neil Shaw in the very heart of London.